been before we married. So he knows that this is who I am, and he has no problem with it. This conversation even came up again. I had a friend, my neighbor actually, she went out for like a party and her skirt was like short. Like short. Like I wouldn't even wear that skirt, to be honest. And you know, she's a mom, so she's not just married, she's a mom and everything. Did you feel good? Oh yes, you know, what did your husband have to say about it? So also we have different churches with different doctrines. Go to the church that works for you. I will not go like this and maybe go to maybe an MFM or a Deeper Life and now come out to complain that they're looking down on me. I know the doctrine of the church. Don't come and say, no, I want to be the change. After how many years of generational doctrine, I want to say you want to be the change. Let me judge you.
What up, everybody? Welcome to Freaky Table. It's your girl, Joan Ngomba, and we are here on set to discuss something very, very important. But before I do that, please welcome my dear co-host, the MC extraordinaire, actor, fashionista, fine boy, aka the play. Okay, not player.
I'm not a player, please. I love Jesus.
Please welcome Charlie Shorts.
Yay! Okay,
Charles Bond, please. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fine.
I love your Nebraska.
Thank you very much. You look great.
I'm trying to figure out. I wish it was a longer t-shirt. I would have just taken this.
Okay, don't worry. No, I have. Okay, no.
You have. I'll come and collect it after the show. Thank you. I love you.
I don't know you, please. I don't know you.
Okay,
we
now
just
you
met
see.
here for the first time. But wait, hey, it's not just myself and Charles who are in the studio. We have a very, very, very important guest. All right? She's fine. But that's not the only thing. She's a very, very talented woman, a business woman, a woman that when she smiles, traffic stop.
I love it.
And she stopped at the show, Freaky Table. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Madame Pelumi Buari.
Yes, please.
I got it.
It's almost like I need to get this name right. Let's do it right.
I cramped it. I was like, hey, God. No, that one.
I think you did fantastic.
Amen.
Because even
they say loud, that guy needs
a lot of like tribes, because it's a they always so they always struggle with it, or they just stick with Lumi. So I'm really proud. High five.
Before I bust your bubble, that my name is Modupe. That's my middle name. I had to pronounce that right.
Okay, now I understand. Now it makes more sense. Love it.
I have to congratulate myself. It's not easy.
Love it.
Love it.
Chelsea, put this thing in my mouth.
What's that?
Love it.
Listen, you have to love everything. Love it.
Now I know that all pronouns have to be respected.
It's very important. Very key, because they will not drag me on social media.
I'm telling you, not us. We don't want that community to come here. Thank you very much. I love you guys. All right, today we are talking about married women. And you know, we'll not bring a single girl. Well, you know, I'm a little married. So
what does that even mean? Stop! Not you too!
I'm a little married.
God, I'm big.
What does that mean?
Do you understand, girl?
You were explaining to you.
On and off days.
I can't understand
So
it.
you wake up in the morning, I choose to be married.
Married today, yeah. I want to be a little married next summer.
So it's a madam. So she's going to help us break this whole thing down. When it comes to married women and fashion, who dictates what they wear, how they wear it, what their husband should like, what they do, what their pastor should like. Sure, it's a lot of things. So the simple question is, married women and their fashion, where do they go? Where are they going? Where do they go? Where have they been?
We are going to where?
Madam, listen, this whole thing, right? First of all, do you think that married women, their fashion, people judge it?
Of course, people judge it. And, you know, conversations like this, I've had it with like friends of mine where, you know, I was still saying that I was going to talk about it, you know, in terms of identity crisis. So I feel like I experienced that when I got married, because maybe me, I dress a certain type of way, and now I get married and, you know, older generations are like, oh, you know, now you're married, you cannot wear this thing that you used to wear anymore. You cannot wear this thing. My mom should be, rather than, you know, nice trendy dresses that I like wearing, because of course I'm in the media industry, she'll be sending me abayas, sending me long clothes.
She was sending you clothes?
Yes, like, oh, you know, this dress will look nice on you, this dress will look... I remember one time I went for, it was a premiere, and I was showing a little bit of, you know, cleavage, you know. And then my mom's like, madam, You should know now you're a married woman. This dress does not work. And I said, oh, my husband likes it. She said, sorry, ma.
I love it.
And we moved on.
My husband loves that's it for me.
Yes. I just put it that my husband loves it. She's like, sorry. So, like I said, at a point I found it, very hard to place myself on, okay, so this new phase, is there a certain way I'm meant to act? Is there a certain way I'm meant to dress? But I beg, do you?
But then,
do you?
Why do you think there is that? Why do you think there is that conversation or that, oh, now you are married, type situation? It's almost like now you are married, you can't hang out with your single friends. Now you are married, you can't talk to this person, that person. You can't have so many male friends. You can't dress a certain type of way. You can't be caught in this. Why do you think there is that? Why now you are married?
So many rules after marriage.
Yeah.
So I mean,
especially for women.
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously like more responsibility. And whether we like it or not, as a married person, you don't just live for yourself anymore. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, you're not living for yourself. If normally you would wake up in the morning, oh, what am I going to eat? You marry it, what are we going to eat? So it's two becomes one, which is basically what from the church, even as they're joining you together, whatever, wherever it is you're doing your ceremony, they already let you know. So now you're not living for yourself. So obviously, a lot of decisions that you would naturally take for yourself, you need two people to agree. And they say the house, you all have to agree. But there are lots of quotes and, lots of verses on that. So looking at that, that's why everybody's like, oh, well, your husband, let you come out. Because we know now you need to take permission. And if your husband or your partner is not as understanding as he should be, there's a lot of conflicts. But I mean, I don't believe in not having single friends. But I mean, I also understand that different phases in life. So for example, you're married, you have your husband, you want to spend quality time with your husband because you've gone to work, you've gone to an event. Now, the only time you have to spend together is after work. And then your friends are like, ooh, let's go do, thank God it's Friday, happy hour, let's go out at night. Your friends have no responsibility in terms of quality time. So they can always just go out and be free. But then you know that there's somebody waiting for you at home.
Literally waiting.
Do you understand? So there's different phases in life come with different responsibilities. So also you realize, even as married couples, or even like in marriage, married women and women that have kids,
they
don't sometimes relate because at least it's you and your husband. Now you have 3 kids at home. So, there's just a whole lot of, it's just about different phases in life. But I don't believe in, because I know some girls do that, but I don't believe in actively trying to say, oh, because I'm married. Single girls, stay there. When you marry, we can talk again. I don't believe in all of that.
Some women do that.
They do, or don't call my husband by his name. You have to put sir. I don't know. I've heard different things. I remember I was having a conversation with another married friend, and she was just telling me how someone that was married was like, oh, that now that we're married, that if her friends are in the house and her husband eats, that the friends have to help her pack her husband's plates to the kitchen.
Hey, I'm lying, not smiling. You are giving me content ideas. Wow, if I am not feeling this thing, are you joking?
See, there are a lot. Oh, don't call my husband by his name. You have to call him Mr. Or you have to call him
whatever.
Now, wow, Alpha and Omega.
What kind of pressure is that? Like, I don't understand.
See, when you speak with some single friends especially, they'll tell you a lot of things that your married friends do. I don't believe in that, to be honest.
Like, weren't you single before as well?
Do you get? Like, weren't you even dating the guy before? Your friends knew him. So why is it that now that you're married, there has to be a change in status or a change in how you relate? I don't necessarily
There has to be a change. I think that it's a gradual process. It's going to take them some time to also understand that, okay, she's a married woman now. There are some things there's some limitations to things. The single ones. And then you, the married person, because you are now into a new routine, you gradually just adjust to that new life. It's not like you deliberately just sit down and say, now I'm married, so they. So I just think there's a gradual process. Everybody will just slow themselves into it.
Like, you need to slow yourselves into it. But I think maybe because also in this country or in this continent, women carry marriages on their head. Because, I mean, let's look at men, for example.
They don't change dresses, so last I checked.
Yeah, they don't change dresses, one. But aside that, so, my husband and I were having a conversation one time. And when we're still dating, his friends were always coming to the house and everything. And I'm like, but you know, I'm here. Your friends are everywhere, you know. I mean, I loved them. We were all cool and everything. But you know when you just want you and your boo to just, you know. And then it's like, oh, it's because I'm not married yet. When I marry, they understand that now there's a certain level of responsibility. And it's just what it is. Everybody's just like, okay, now we need to not just consider him, we also need to consider her. But for women, they'll be like, so you know I'm married. I don't know why they do
like an
that.
announcement.
Yes, it's like they make it very mandatory. They don't just transition. They demand it. And I feel like that's where a lot of single friends now fall off from their married friends, because like, didn't we date together when you were alone?
Crying.
Were we not the ones
that saw you through all your breakups?
Yes. Were we not the ones that were there when he wasn't calling you? Were we not the ones that would demand he treats you right? Now you guys are together. You want to shrink us to the side. I mean,
you finally said something about you had won something to a premiere, and then your mom was like, "What's this?" And then you said your husband likes it. Says, I'm sorry. Now that makes sense to me, because I mean, this is the important person in my life, and if he likes it, that's what it is.
That's
but
who's important.
But my question is that enough? You know, because especially considering the society that we are in, right? I mean, it's okay if he likes it, that's great, but does it even stop the judgment of the society, in the sense that she's even married, safe?
So let me tell you something, right? Me, okay, probably because of how I am, but I'm not living, if I'm living for anyone, it's maybe for my husband and my future children. I'm not living for the society, because the society would always choose what to judge you on. Even when you're doing things right, there are some people that even when they think they're getting things right, society will pull them down and say no, even if it's right. But there's always a but with society. So really don't care what they have to say. I believe in morals, right? And I believe in not hurting anyone with my decisions. So as far as nobody is being hurt by my decisions, do I look good? Yes. Is my husband seeing me and salivating and wanted to carry me to the room? Yes, mission accomplished. And that is what it is. But I mean, so like recently, this conversation even came up again. I had a friend, my neighbor actually, she went out for like a party and her skirt was like short. Like short. Like I wouldn't even wear that skirt, to be honest. And you know, she's a mom. So she's not just married, she's a mom and everything. And you know, another of our neighbors was like, madam, this dress is too short. You know, not to me, I'm married and everything. Even me, I looked like, this skirt is short. But then I asked, what did you feel good? Oh, yes, what did your husband have to say about it? Oh, I mean, this is how and what she said really touched me, because what she said was, this is how I've been before we married. So he knows that this is who I am, and he has no problem with it. I said, go girl, you're looking hot. Fire emoji. Love emoji. And we moved on. It's really not my business, because I can't hold you to my morals, because I wouldn't want anyone. I mean, if I was the way I am, if maybe we call some kind of churches with some strong doctrines, then go judge me, yes. I'm going to hellfire.
You won't put gold on your head.
Gold.
Wow, gold.
What is a
marine
gold?
Spirit.
Do you get it? Of the hair.
Of
So who am I to now judge another person?
Or you know, usually the judgment comes from various places. Like, number one, society is like standard. That one, whether you go up, come down, to see it. Another place is the church. Yeah. Because you're a Christian or Muslim, whatever religion that you attach yourself to. So you're a man of God, the person who perhaps wedded you guys in the church or has been counseling you guys through that marriage time, would probably be like, all right. I've seen where churches or church daddies, Daddy Geos, they always have some kind of influence on marital homes. Yeah. Do you think that should be the case, or how do you think married people should handle those kind of cases?
And everything I'm saying is from my own perspective. So I'm sure everybody has different opinions. But I've never really been strong on my daddy in the Lord. My daddy said, my daddy. No, I've never really been strong on that. Let's go, let's have a relationship. Do you hold me accountable to certain things that I do? Yes, fantastic. But then I would not live my life based off of everything that you say. That is one. So two, And thankfully, I mean, some people might come for me for this, but that is why, it's a beautiful thing when it comes to, being Christian. Your relationship with God is absolutely key, absolutely important. So also, we have different churches with different doctrines. Go to the church that works for you. I will not go like this and maybe go to an MFM or a Deeper Life and now come out to complain that they're looking down on me. I know the doctrine of the church. It doesn't necessarily align with what I believe in Christianity. So I go to a church that works in that setting. If maybe I grow in my spiritual, journey, and I get a personal conviction that God says, oh, you know what, don't do long hair. Because like I said, it's very personal. Then maybe I evolve into going to these type of churches that have, doctrines that I feel work with my walk with God at that time.
Right.
So I would never ever go somewhere, because in university, for example, I was in a fellowship and it was actually quite a bit judgy, like very judgmental, like other fellowships, because my fellowship then, Sovereign Army Fellowship, was the only one at that time that really allowed people wear jeans and trousers. Every other fellowship, even if you've gone to class, you come back, for you to go, you have to go change in skirts. And every time you're like, oh, those ones are very, but it worked. My faith grew. I had a relationship with God. I was praying 3 hours. I was hearing from God. I was doing all sorts, and it wasn't limited, or I wasn't restricted by the jeans that I was wearing. So it worked. We would evangelize, and people found a safe space there. So like I said, go where works for you. Don't come and say, no, I want to be the change. After how many years of generational doctrine, I want to say you want to be the change. Let me judge you.
Don't complain.
You believe.
So we've talked about society, we talked about church. Now, basically, I know that people are going to be like, oh, when you get married, you're supposed to, you're who you are. These woke women now, like internet feminists as well. They will be like, be you, and be,
it's my body.
It's my body, it's my rule, it's my this, it's my that, all of that. But however, the respect that the man has in the house. So first of all, I want to ask you, where do you think the man, because a lot of, recently, what I've noticed is that the way I don't know the right English word there, Charles. Is it emasculate or demasculate? Man. Emasculate, right? The way they've reduced men in this society nowadays, I don't even understand. Like I don't know whether they don't want men to have that kind of power or control in their household, especially in America.
But I don't say it that way, but I mean...
So when you come to African homes now, when you have the man is the head of the house, the mother is like the heart of the house, how much power should your husband have over you as a wife?
So that's the thing. I don't think he necessarily has to have power over me, right? Because two have become one. He is one, I'm one. I strongly believe in partnership. I strongly believe that marriage is a partnership. Two of us have come together for a goal, whether financial goal, family goals, whatever. I feel like that's how it is. And maybe that's the issue, because when we use the word power, there's always going to be a power tussle, because no one wants to feel less. No one wants to feel, except like BDSM, nobody wants to be submissive and, know that, oh, this is the dominant one. And I guess that's why there's always going to be a tussle. Even from men, I have the power, so I can marry more than one wife because I'm paying the bride price. I'm doing the this, I'm doing the that. But then for a woman, you as a woman, you're like, no, I have to have power, because if I'm working and I'm bringing something to the table, it means I need to be able to make certain decisions and all of that. There's always going to be a tussle, especially if maybe the man now has a downtime. The man like, oh yes, now I'm bringing the majority. I'm bringing the whole table. So when I was listening to you that time when I was broke, now you have to listen to me now that you're broke. Yeah. Do you understand? So there would always be, because a lot of times we've even relegated power to money. And that's why usually it's like, oh, whoever has the most finances calls the shots. But if you see it as a partnership, if you have a business, and that's why marriage is a contract, you both sign. If you see it as like a business, we have a goal we're working towards. You know that, or if your partner is not bringing something at a particular time, you have to make up. You have to, what's the word now?
Be the helpers.
Yes, do you get? Yes, so you have to, if maybe he's bringing 50, you're bringing 50, and at a point he's bringing 30, you have to, make up for it so that it balances out because you have a goal. And what is that goal? Because not just love can sustain a marriage. And that's why a lot of times, sorry, I'm taking us away, I never really understand, what polygamy is. Because if you are saying it's marriage, it's a partnership, or working towards something, we want to build a house together, we want to have assets and investments together. By the time you're bringing other parties in, is that a collective goal, or is that just you satisfying your sexual appetite? Right. Like, how do you, as a family, work towards one goal?
Gotcha.
And that's usually why I have an issue with polygamy. But I mean, that's by the way, because then it's the power. I'm the man, as an African man, I have African blood in me, and all those things. But, so that's why, when we say power, I never really want to have, those conversations. It's just a partnership. And that is why, if my husband says, oh, I mean, what you're wearing is nice, I don't think you should wear it. And it also depends on the tone. If you have power, what's this you're wearing? My friend, get out. That's fight already. We're fighting already.
Too much control, sir.
Do you get? That's a lot of control. But if it's like, okay, I don't think what you're wearing is nice. I don't think what you're wearing is all right. Or I like what you're wearing, but I don't think this works.
Yeah.
Do you get? Are you sure you'll be comfortable if you bend? We're reasoning together. Even the Bible, even God says, come, let us reason together. And that is God talking to us. So when you see it as a partnership, there's even in the tone and how you speak with each other, it changes.
Yeah.
And there's more understanding. So, yeah.
So I remember, because you were just saying something and I was just remembering Megan Good. Remember that Megan Good's BET blue dress? I'll never forget that in the history of fashion. And then the church, society, Hollywood, everybody, even people did not know her, they knew her because of that dress. Like, what in the world was she wearing? The very deep neckline, the boob showing, little bit of nips, everything. And we're like, but your husband is a minister of the Lord. They are divorced now. So what was she wearing? So all those kind of judgments, how does that make married people feel, really? Married women feel? Like, if you see those kind of things, the society coming at somebody.
So, I mean, that one, Megan Good was technically a female minister. Mommy Gio, because she was married to Daddy Gio.
Well, kind of.
So it's like, nobody wants to come to church and be like, oh, mommy in the Lord, praise the Lord. Oh, but I saw her nips yesterday. So I guess they have a different standard that people hold them to. And not just because church ministers, also if you have a female president, for example, you wouldn't want your female, let's just look at the office. So not just society judging, it's the office of where you're at the moment. Even our senators, imagine if, our president comes out in shorts, saying he's hitting the gym and wants to show off. Everybody would complain. And that's just because of the office of where he's at, not necessarily, he's a married man or, whatever. That being said, judgment obviously makes everybody feel bad. No matter the phase you're in, even if you're a girl and they're like, oh, all you Gen Zs wearing clothes that are this and that and that. Everybody feels bad when you face any form of judgment. But I don't necessarily say, oh, I'm a married woman. First of all, I'm a woman. And as a woman, I like to feel good. As a woman, I want to feel hot. I want to feel desired, mostly by my husband. But it wouldn't hurt if guys just, once in a while, But that doesn't mean I'm going to go over the top to get some level of attraction from anybody.
Isn't that a problem, though? That your husband feels like, other men are like,
no, but so that's the thing. It's not a one-way thing. And that's where I said if there's a power tussle type of thing. Do you know there are also guys who love their wives being desired?
Fact.
Because like,
Can
yes.
Can you wait?
Why is there a thing called trophy wives?
If that is not happening.
Why is there a thing called trophy wives? Even guys, men want to be where their friends are like, oh, that your wife, that your babe, hot.
I want to hear it.
It's an ego boost because, yes, I chose the creme de la creme. I chose the best out of the flock. Everybody's choosing tilapia. I chose Titus.
Now for you. Hi, Titus of all fish. You don't even say croquette.
Sorry, croquette. wanted to say croquet, I forgot croquet. Did you get? Everybody's choosing, which one is lesser? Everybody's choosing crayfish. I chose croquet. You know, everybody. So it's never really a thing. It depends on your relationship. And that's why even before you marry, understanding is key. You need to know yourselves. Your husband needs to know that it's after you now marry, you want to change. Let them know who you are so that there is no, oh, you don't love the real me. Are you showcasing the real you? Is the question.
That's deep, really deep stuff.
Deep.
Have you ever been in a position where you second-guessed what you were going to do or what you were going to wear or where you were going to just based on the status of being a married woman? And by that I mean, say for example, you know how let's go here, or maybe a female friend, let's use your female friend, say, oh, babe, let's go to this bar, and we're okay, no wahala, and maybe you're getting ready, and you went to wear the shirt, but no, this man sees me. I just maybe a fleeting thought of the fact that, oh, I'm married.
If you see, no, and that's because we're, like I said, we're partners. And quite honestly, I dated my husband for 7 years before we married. You know, Nancy, most of the times that I don't go is laziness. You know, I've called you Charles.
I don't think that. Pelumi can cancel last minute. It's so annoying. You can plan something for 1 week, 30 minutes to the time. She's like, when I say I quite don't know.
You see, it's laziness, or maybe at that time I'm
what I normally do, I'll play the emotional card this house.
You will emotionally blackmail me.
I'm
like, okay, no problem. But that has not. See, my husband. Once if you're going out, once you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner arranged for him, he's cool with it. Because you know, I'm in this industry. There are times when 4 a.m. is when I'm getting home. And it's not because I was partying. It's because I've been on set. I'm working. And so also he's, you know, an architect. So he spends long hours on, you know, site as well. Sometimes he travels 1 month we've not seen. You know now. 1 month we've not seen, because we understand where we're at. It's our business, it's our job. He knows that I'm in the industry. There are times I need to go out to network. There are times I need to go out to just show that, oh, I am here. And, you know, that's where, so like I don't stress him. I don't make it oh, I want to hang out with the girls, come and give me. The only time maybe it was maybe an issue, but it wasn't really an issue. A friend said, oh, you know, I just got back into the country. Let's go out. I'll come and pick you around 1 a.m. He knows me. So he's like, you want to go at 1 a.m.? Okay, no problem. I'm like, okay, that 1 a.m. I was asleep. And I woke up 6 a.m. He didn't wake me up. I was like, get out. So it has never really, maybe if I have children, it might be another conversation, because now it's like you have more responsibility in it. But I'm sure there are ways, once you talk, and that's why you need to be friends. And that's why if you're saying, oh, this is the emperor, the conqueror, the champion, you can never really understand. So that's, I mean, I've never really had that issue, to be honest. But another thing is me, I don't used to go out.
You don't actually.
Yeah, so I don't go out. So it has never really been. But if you know someone, I mean, if guys can go out every Friday, why can't women go out too?
I'm a little married, so I'm getting there.
Me, I'm fully married.
So we talk about a lot of things, but one of the major things that I know that affects African marriages, really in Nigeria, Cameroon, wherever, is the influence of men of God in church, to be honest. Yes, especially the women, the wives. I don't know, the kind of connection that they have with their religion, maybe Christianity or pastor or whatever. Seriously affects homes these days, and it's becoming a problem. It's a serious problem for the men, and it's just I don't know whether it's that the men cannot understand that relationship, or they're like, listen, you are married to me, not your father or your pastor. So sometimes when they come off like this, maybe it's because it's too much, and they now the tone in which that they speak, it's annoying to the wife who is in that situation, and then she now, start nagging and talking. Then the whole thing, it just becomes disturbing.
Okay, so here's the
thing. That influence of
I mean, yeah,
the role of churches
that influence,
in marriages.
Yeah, the role of churches. I mean, I've never heard of such in my church, to be honest. But so here's the thing, right? When you say a man is the head of the home, it's not just financially. I think a man needs to be the spiritual head as well, where the man needs to carry the family. But over time, we have seen that that role has been relegated to women, where for as long as we can remember, our mothers are always the more prayerful ones. Look at families that have the men as the more prayerful ones. They never have that issue. Because the man at that point is your head. He's your man of God. You trust him to take decisions. And another thing is, everybody wants or needs guidance. We in Africa, we like the easy way out. Rather than sit down and pray and hear from God, I would rather a man of God be like, I saw you in my dream. God told me that you should tell your husband to do this, or God told me that you should. We just don't want to make the decisions for ourselves. And men of God are seen as people after God. So it's like, if I cannot see God, I can see you. You make the decisions of my life for me. And that is it. But in homes where the man is the spiritual head, they don't have that issue. But because the woman now has to stand in, she needs someone she can look up to. I'm not excusing it, because it's just a situation that, women have been placed into, that they might not necessarily know how to navigate. And so because they see someone as the spiritual head, giving them hope, giving them an answer to their prayers, some way or some form, giving them, whatever it is that they're looking forward to. But, at that point, they feel like maybe spiritually their needs are being met. They tend to deflect to that person more than their husbands.
Yeah.
That's spot on, actually.
Well explained. I was like, I never thought about that, actually. But it's true. I think I don't have any further.
Honestly, I think you've pretty much covered everything. But just to wrap this up, I'd like to ask, if you were to speak to your younger self, not any other person, but your younger self, before you got married, the person who you were before you got married.
Yeah.
Are there any things that you would say to her to do, change, look forward to? I don't know how to put it.
I really don't know, honestly. If I was to talk to my younger self, I really don't know what I would tell my younger self.
Taking into cognizance your experiences now as a married woman, what would you say to Pelumi before she got married?
Probably make more money.
Before marriage?
Yeah, before marriage. Probably that. But, so like I said, we dated for the longest time. So it was like I was entering with my eyes opened. I wasn't rushing into anything. And what I always like to tell people is that I never even wanted to get married, because I grew up, in a broken home, surrounded by lots of marriages that were not working. And I was like, I keep saying this all the time. I never wanted to get married. And if I was even getting married, I did not want to get married to a Nigerian or African. I wanted to get married to a white man, because I saw how, the man is okay doing the dishes and it's not a power tussle, because you know that you guys are splitting your salary 50-50. So you're also splitting your chores and everything 50-50. To me, that looked like an ideal partnership. It looked like an ideal marriage where we're all working. It's okay, the man can take care of the kids. The woman is probably working in the morning, maybe the man has shift at night, and they all balance each other out. Not necessarily that in Nigeria, even when the man is broke, or maybe he has been sacked from the job and the woman is picking up the bills, the woman will still have to come home to cook, clean, and do everything, because according to society, the man's place is not in the kitchen. That did not look like an ideal marriage to me. Quite honestly, foreign marriages were like, what it was to me. But, I always say that my husband is who I prayed for, because I prayed honestly for him. So I always say that he's who I prayed for. I don't think anyone would understand me the way he understands me, because nobody every time they do house chores. Sometimes I'm like, bro, man, I've been on my feet all day. I don't think I want to cook. Can we order for something? And he's okay with it. I don't have to say, my husband, Olowo Rimi, bro, how far? And like, babe, a day. Like, we just banter. Yes. It's just friendship. It's just how it is. So so that's why I said, I don't think there's anything I can pray for. Maybe having more money, so I can maybe make certain investments or something that would be yielding by now. Or maybe, I would bring a whole lot of money that we can buy our house, immediately or something. But I really don't see anything I would do differently. Mr. Buari, try.
Great.
The guy is
Get yourself a good man.
Azzy.
Men like me, it's really important why you think.
Man like Charles Bond.
It's really important. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, thank you for coming, Pelumi.
Thank you for having me.
Please do well to follow Pelumi Buari across social media. She's great at what she does. And don't forget that you can follow us here at Tricky Table on all social media platforms as well. Follow Joan on social media. Follow me on social media. All the handles you need to follow are on your screen right now. We'll see you in the next one. Good night.